Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Buying Panther Presents. Today, we got Kim and we got Stacy. It's Kim's birthday's weekend, so we can say happy birthday in this video, their video, Kim.
Thank
Looking
you.
good. Looking good. Got the Donna Summers thing going on, but we'll do that. Go to that. Got the hair swinging, and she ain't got the soul glow. Got that soul glow. Anyway, I digress.
That's what it's really called, but okay.
Which I lays to keep sweet, pray, and obey as we discuss the 4-part docuseries on Netflix following the Fundamental Mormon Church. Keep sweet like candy. Stacey got some things going on. What are we talking about? We're talking about war. Oh, she's licking it.
That's what got her in trouble. Is gonna get you, Stacey.
I was like, only Stacey.
I was trying to find a birthday hat for Kim. But...
Oh, I didn't know what she was doing. I was like,
oh wow. That a shark?
Is that a shark? Yeah, you got shark mouth.
Shark, baby, shark. Oh, this up in my head all day. Ugh. All right, I don't see a birthday hat. That's weird. Okay. I tried, Kim.
Can we get to the
Thank you.
Can we get to the polygamous, please?
Yes.
All right, so we're talking about Warren Jeffs, second generation leader of the Fundamental Mormon Church, who was convicted in 2012 for rape of a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old after evidence was found in Texas. And you do not mess with Texas because they will come get you.
And that is also where Zion is.
Which makes what? I was like, who said the Paradise Land was in Texas? Well, you know. So we got to get into that. We're gonna get into all that. What these churches meant, what did it mean to the church is still going. That's even more crazy to me. But anyway, Kim, what did you think of this intriguing series?
It was very intriguing, but I was so disgusted by how these men just for their own gratification, for their own sexual needs, they just brainwashed all of these women. Actually, all the men too. They brainwashed, everybody's brainwashed. And they're all saying it's for what the Bible says, and that they're listening to what God is telling them to do. And I'm like, God is not telling you for my 14-year-old to sleep with an 85-year-old man or even a 50-year-old man. Like, what are you doing? This is so disgusting to me. And there was a couple of times where I actually had to step away from it because I felt so bad for these women who were telling their story. It was very emotional because I could imagine being put into that situation. It's disgusting. I mean, men use religion to downgrade and to berate women into obeying them. And it always ends up being about sex. It's always about sex. And when they came up with this thing, the way you get into heaven is having all these wives and children. I was like, okay, this sounds familiar. And we know who we're talking about, but I'm not going to say it. But, starts with an M, ends with an M. But it's just annoying. And so I was very disgusted. I felt really bad for all of these women. Even the young men, some of them I felt bad for too. Because they've been brainwashed since they were itty bitty babies. So they don't know any better, It's abuse of power. It's an abuse of power.
Yes, it changed a lot of directions. And what is this? How before Warren took over, how everything was hunky dory in this multi-marriage polygamous society with the old man in charge. I don't know. Stacey, what did you take away from said special?
My first question was, how much hairspray is being used in these cults? Because their hair, like the little swoops, and it just stays in place. And
Stacey, did you download the video, the how-to video? We gotta get our hair that way.
I didn't. I was watching the braids and I was like,
yeah,
I might be able to get it, but no, this is anyway, I digress. And then my second thought was, if all the old men are marrying the young girls, who do the young men get with? Because if you're 18, 20, and there's no women your age, you're probably going to become a school shooter or something, right? Like, that's typically how that works. So what were the young men doing when all the old men were screwing the young girls?
Construction, because they turned them into very cheap labor, which apparently major corporations were like, what? You had me at cheap construction costs. I couldn't believe that Walmart and all them
$1 million a month was being generated through this operation.
Yeah.
And none of them go to school. They're not in school at all. So they're all illiterate. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, so different. Like, they didn't go to Gentile school, so they had their own education system to educate them to the extent that necessary to live within the society, which I don't know how that's even legal. Like, I mean, it's just like,
well, the women weren't educated, the men were, but not the women.
Women also, again, were educated to a certain level. I mean, they also had to go through indoctrination, if you will. You know, that hair didn't come naturally. You know what I'm saying? Obeying did not come naturally, right? So they had to learn church scripture. They had to learn how to take care of the house. I'm assuming they did not go through biology or anatomy class.
Right, they didn't learn that. Like,
they did not learn that
nope.
Until their cousin was on top of them. When I was like, what?
First and second cousins were on top of them.
Yeah. Is this the group that cuts a hole in the sheet before they do it, or is that somebody else?
The other Mormons. That's the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Amish,
the mainstream Mormons.
Yeah.
So I think the Amish, they have like that year where they have to like go into the world and decide if they want to come back or something.
Rum shaker or something like that. Yeah.
Rum shaker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like it sounds like Rum Shaker or something like that. But that's where they go, because they have a reality show about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they you go out and you go crazy in the real world, but then you got to come back.
Well, you really don't have
to come back.
No, they have another reality show where people didn't come back.
Yeah,
another one. Yeah,
well, at least they get an option to like explore and decide. You know, is this really for me? But these people are just stuck.
Yeah.
It was a lot. The main narrator, her story of Jeff's, so they go from generations, right? So the first leader, which is behind Stacy, had like
it's Rum Springer. Sorry, Rum Springer.
Rum Springer. That sounds much better than Rum Shaker. I was like, I know that song. I was like, that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Maybe that's where it came from. I don't know.
Are they all shaking their booty?
At some point, and so it was a Warren apparently before he got arrested. Like, he was out there living his best life with his top 10 wives or some shit. Like,
and he had all that paper, all that money. Woo.
300,000 a week.
A week.
Yes, a week.
A week. You know how many prostitutes he had to buy with that? That's a lot of money. Like, where's that money going? I mean, Disneyland don't cost that much. I mean, Disneyland is expensive. Maybe he was on the shit. Like, I don't know. But I need to know something. I mean, he had Disneyland photos. I mean, he had motorcycles and shit. He went to Mardi Gras. I mean, he was learning the life of the Gentile until when you get caught out of Vegas. Like, that's where you get caught. Like, your followers are mad as shit. Like, well, he wasn't even in Utah. If he got caught in Utah, they would have understood. But like, you outside of Sin City, just like Under the Banner of Heaven. This documentary made Under the Banner of Heaven look like a documentary. I was like, this is so good. I was like, damn, Andrew Garfield brought it. Like, even with the Heavenly Father, and put things on the shelf when you don't understand it. I was like, this is everything. I was like, wow, crazy. But fundamentalist beliefs, right? Like, I love how the men didn't say shit. Like, the two married like Mormons that you saw, the old man and the like slightly like our age baby type of man, like that old man was just sitting in the chair like that. His wife was doing all the talking. It was like, I can't be on camera to be like, yeah, when I have my other the 2 wives. We had such a good life, but you know, now I'm just stuck with her. And she's like, yes, it was quite lovely. Wasn't it, baby? I was like, yes.
No. But she did give a little shade when he was talking about the second wife. And he was like, yeah, it was a good marriage. And then she was like, they argued a lot. They fought a lot. And I was like, okay, you go, girl, throwing that shade.
We had the upstairs family and we had the downstairs family.
Well, the downstairs wife was the one that she was saying they argued a lot. I was like, oh, okay.
He's like, yeah, he just came home one day. It's like, hey, here's my new wife. He's like, okay. I was like, what? And he's like, my life was destroyed when Warren took over. It was not like it used to be when I could have 2 or maybe 3 wives, and things got really weird after that. I was like, what?
Wasn't he the one that got married because he only had 1 wife and he felt some type of way? Or was that the other one?
That was him, because his daughter was the one that was talking, which was even more wild, right? Because she was like, yeah, my dad, he tried so hard to be a part of the community. He was very smart. He had patents and stuff, but he only had 2 wives and he needed that 3rd wife so he could get into heaven. I'm like, listen to yourself, girl.
Hey, in the beginning, when they were like, this is Jesus' plan to have out for men to have all these wives to get to heaven. The contemporary myth of Jesus is he wasn't ever even married. So why did Jesus want you to have these many wives?
Because when
Jesus, are you trying to make this logical, Stacey? Oh,
yes,
it's not going to be logical.
Yes, I need something.
Ben, it's not logical.
So the story, they said, I thought the story was when Jesus came to America and he spoke to the founder of the Mormons. He was like, hey, here's the rest of the commandments. Like, that's always the story. Like, there's Christianity, and then there's the prophet's words that Jesus gave to them, and that's some extra stuff. And you like, let's not do that. But for some reason, it was like you could marry and procreate your way to heaven to making your own universes, and they're like, oh, what? Like,
and they were like, do the women get to go or something? He was like,
only to the extent that the man goes. So like maybe he brings his family. Like maybe it's like, I am your way to heaven, so you have to keep me happy, and then I will
follow me. You have to follow me.
You have to follow me to heaven.
Keep sweet.
They had it on the bottom of this old man's shoes. That shit was hilarious. I was like, he balling out. He was like, keep sweet, baby. They're like, yes, daddy, husband, or whatever, until he dies, even though he wasn't supposed to die. Like, he's human. Like, they're like, oh shit, he just
no, he's not supposed to die. Remember, he's gonna live forever.
That's because his son took over and somehow became, and then married his own stepmoms.
Yes.
At least a good part of them.
Yeah, he did. It was like 32 of them, wasn't it? He married them.
It was. Well, he apparently, and before he went to jail, he had 64 wives.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I love how one of the wives were like, I was his special one because he had a sweet nickname for me, and he stuck around. And he always hung out and had a good time. I was like, God, it never fails, man. It never fails for a woman to be like, but I'm the special one. I was like, are you though? Like, is that what they tell you? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Even the one that left was like, my sister wives were sitting up there. I was like, listen to what you just called these women. You're like, my sister wives were sitting up there and we had to figure out how to get out of here. I was like, you mean the other random women that are married to this man and that's illegal? Like, what you saying? But he's like, oh, but it's ingrained. It's ingrained
from birth. That's what I'm saying. These people are brainwashed from the time they step foot out of their mother's womb. It's like, you're going to get married to a man and you're going to do all these things for this man. It is all about the men. It doesn't matter what you feel. You don't have feelings. You just open your legs and let them do what they got to do. Like, it's horrible. When that girl said that when I think it was Eliza, and she had to have sex with her cousin, her first cousin.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is what you're supposed to do. Oh, I was like,
well, maybe from his perspective, he didn't know any better either. I mean, he was like,
I'm not gonna feel sorry for it. No, David, please. Don't ask me to feel sorry for any of these men. I'm not going to do it. I'm not.
Not sorry. I'm just saying. I'm not saying sorry. I'm just saying, but be like, understand, like he's like, understand his perspective. Like if he was trained to be like, that's a woman's job. Your job is to do this. And he's like, what else do I know? Like I don't like he. So I like the guy who got kicked out. Like one of that group of men that got kicked out, and he was like, my brother kicked me out, and I said if I had a daughter, she couldn't get married till she was 18. They would have to come through me. And I was like, at least he made an effort, because that one woman was like, I spoke to my mom, and she was like, here you go. But then all those people. When like Warren stood up and was like, the following men got to get the fuck out because you are the sons of Satan and your wives and your children belong to whoever I say they belong to.
That was horrible. That was devastating.
But everybody took a vote and was like, yes, right, Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like,
and they took his business.
All of them.
Yeah.
They took all the business.
Yeah.
It's like he owned the businesses of all the people in this community and basically the wives. He told that one woman, even if you are married, I still run you. I was like, what?
It's terrible.
I feel like this is what Nick Cannon is trying to achieve. Like maybe.
No, Nick Cannon is trying to get a what is it called? A donor, bone marrow donor, because he has lupus.
Trying to breed his own marrow.
Oh, bone boner. Oh, that's hilarious. I thought you said he was trying to get a boner. I was like, I think he got that a few times. I think he's all right.
No,
bone marrow donor.
Yeah, because it may not be all the kids. One of them kids can donate.
You can help him out at some point.
Yes. Yes.
I see if I heard that he was a Mormon, I would be like, you know what? I get it. Yeah. I get it now. I was like, all right. Like he's trying to fuck his way into heaven. He's like, if I with enough children, enough wives, I can build my own universe. Like in heaven.
His baby mothers are too old.
Yeah, they got to be 12, 13, 14, 16. You know, they got to be children.
The right age. Like it just. Also, I got
to have baby cheeks. They have to have baby.
Why do they have so many daughters? Or did they just only focus on the daughters? Because it's like everybody had like 10 daughters.
Well, it's genetic. You can't control that. I mean, I think it's just genetics. I mean, somehow it just seems weird that these families just kept on producing girls. I mean, to your point, but
well, like the Jeffrey family, they had 62 kids. They had 32 brothers and 30 sisters.
Oh, okay.
So even.
Fair enough.
It just seemed like it was more women. I see what you're talking about, Stacey, because even when they had the little parades and they were walking and stuff, I think they just pushed all the women to the forefront. And like men are like sitting on some goddamn altar and the women are dancing, you know, to entertain their damn asses. I'm sorry. This thing, it just pissed me off so bad.
Oh. Well, the special is about the exploitation of the women. So I'm sure the way they edited it, they kind of focused on that. But again, as I think we talked about before the camera started, like the only two things that really got them attention was first when the boys got kicked out.
Yep.
And then when the men got kicked out, that all of a sudden upset the men, the leadership of the men. And then when they moved to Texas and no one gave a shit until they started building that temple, then all of a sudden people are like, hey, these guys got some issues going on here. I'm like, what about the polygamy and the child wives? They're like, well, they're families. I mean, what do you want us to do? I mean, I feel like Utah is complicit. Like the district attorney of Utah.
Because they're all in the Mormon faith. So of course they're complicit. But not all Mormons believe in polygamy. That's the difference.
But they don't stop it. Like this dude, like he said so matter of factly. He's like, yes, most of these people have multi families, and you know, child marriages does happen. Like he didn't seem shocked or concerned about it. He was just like, well, as long as they don't, you know, get in my business.
You talking about when they were talking to the cop, when the news guy was talking to the cop?
Yeah, well, yeah, also true. But no, I mean, the district attorney, he was like, hey, we're trying to build a case, but like that first dude, he just seemed matter of factly about it. And I'm like, so because he said what they all say, we don't want to mess up families. We're not trying to break up families. But if you know that these families at some point generate child molestation and rape, then you should be breaking up these families. But when you get stuck with 300 kids, is what happened in Texas. What the fuck are you going to do with that? Like, you can't find foster homes for all these kids. So they're like, we'll just give y'all back, because Oprah came and did a special about us and made us look bad. I was like, fuck Oprah.
She actually didn't try to make them look bad. She really didn't, because I remember the special. She just kind of walked around and and asked them about their traditions and things like that, and had talks with them. She didn't make them look bad at all. She was very sympathetic to them.
But that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like she fed into the
propaganda. Well, it wasn't her
purpose.
That wasn't the purpose. The purpose was for the outside to understand what their religion was and why these things were happening. And also, too, remember the story was about taking all these children away from these women, right? So
they should have focused on the why. Like, why did the cops come? Because there was underage marriages going on. They had these women crying.
They talked about that too. They did.
I was like, I felt like her and Gayle King didn't do a good enough job to be like. And then Fox News, on one clip though, Fox News was like, they kidnapped these kids. I was like, even Fox News is turning on Texas. Like, this is not good. This is not good for Texas. Also, this is way after Waco, right? So they're like, we don't want that shit to happen again. So I'm pretty sure
that's a little touchy. That's a touchy subject. So
I'm pretty sure they were like, yeah, we're not just gonna come in guns a-blazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna talk to these people.
Yeah.
I actually thought that's how this thing was gonna go down. I thought Warren was gonna be like, we need to go see Jesus. So go get the secret Mormon juice and mix that shit up and let's see what's gonna happen. I really did. I was like, good. Like, come see me in heaven, all my children. And I'm like, wow.
Like Jim Jones.
Yeah, I really thought, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna go bad. That's because he's still running the church from prison.
Yeah.
Like, but you know why? It's just like what they said under Banner of Heaven, right? The more prosecution he receives, the more of a martyr he becomes.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Because Jesus got arrested, Jesus got beat, Jesus got murdered by the government, and then he came back as Jesus. So, like, it all feeds into the story. He's like, I'm basically Jesus. I'm like, well, that's a good point. I mean, Jesus didn't have any multiple wives or kids, though. There's that. But you did get arrested in Vegas. I don't know how that works.
Having his best line. Living my best line.
He was like, I want the pictures of him on Instagram at the fucking Mardi Gras just to be like, Gentile life 2020. I was like, oh, man. He's having a hot Mormon summer. He's like, oh, shit. That's hilarious. I told y'all, I'll say for the video, the wildest shit for me was not the wives of the underage sex. I just thought of R. Kelly at that point. But I was like, it was the wife that studied her husband's truck to figure out where Zion was. I was like, this crazy.
Like, Texas red clay.
Just like, red clay, that can only be 2 other states. Let me write down the gas mileage divided by 2. Let me look at the mud and be like, I see. Let me get the map. And I was like, oh, shit. And she's like, it must be in Texas, baby. It's like, oh, how'd you do it? I was like, she's the one that found Osama bin Laden. It was her. They were like, all special forces were like, we can't find him. He can't. She's like, give me 10 minutes. I will find that. That way. Right there. He's in that hole right there. I was like, oh, shit. Like, how did you do it? I was like, crazy.
A woman on a mission can find anything.
I was like, damn it. She's like, where'd you take my children? They write this shit down. She's like, boom. I got it. I still had to keep on watching. I was like, and he's like 3 or 4, 8 of her kids are still in the church. I was like, damn, they didn't learn anything. I was like, shit.
It was just sad. But there's another documentary about black people who did the same exact thing. I can't remember where I saw it. I don't know if I saw it on Hulu or I saw it on Amazon, but it was exactly the same thing.
Was the Yahweh Ben Yahweh dude?
Huh?
So the Yahweh Ben Yahweh dude?
I think it was the one where like the mother gave, I think she was 13 or 14, and the mother gave her to her husband, and he just had sex with her, and all of her daughters went to her husband. Like, she willingly gave her, and they all lived in the same house. And then he had other wives and stuff. It was just, I gotta find it. I'll find it and I'll just send it to you. We don't have to review it or anything, but it was the same thing. He used religion to manipulate them into, this whole thing. It's just terrible.
I don't know about the taking of families from a man and just giving them to somebody else, like that seems like a bit much. I mean, multiple wives is in the Bible. I mean, there is foundation for that.
That's written by a man again. Okay, go ahead.
I understand that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do understand the monolithic religions, especially written by men and driven by men, are therefore in favor of men. I mean, the Bible is very clear, the fact that women are beneath men because of Eve. I mean, it's like, this is the way it is. I'm saying, like, I didn't write the book. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, but to be like, don't act like you don't say that, right? And she was like, can I have some of that fruit? And he was like, no, baby, that's not a good idea. She's like, I just got to know because I've been studying the earth and I just want to know where things are at. She's like, just
really in his garden all day by myself.
He's like, shit.
So I made a friend and he told me that this fruit is delicious.
Stacey, why she got an attitude though?
You do, man. She's like, shit. She's like, no, you want some? No, I'm good. I'm fine. No, yes, you do. I was like, I'm trying to listen. He's like, fuck, man. Just all right, Eve, just shut up. Let me eat this thing so she be quiet. Lord was like, how you know y'all naked? Because I ate the fruit. Why'd you eat the fruit? Because of the woman. That's what he said. Because the woman that you gave me. He's like, y'all gotta go, bro. You listen to the woman. He's like, damn it. You right. It's the woman. I was like, she did it again. But as we learned, women curious. They just gotta know. They just got to know. I didn't feel bad for the woman that got turned back in by her lover. Like, she had a band, she left. Then she was like, hey, lover, come get me because you're the guy I used to look at church or some crazy shit. And then he was like, thank you, baby. But what was that, Lord? I got to give her back to the church. Oh, okay, Lord. And then I was like, oh, man.
That was sad. I felt really bad. I mean, they really did love each other. And then Warren just kind of ripped that to shreds. Yeah.
He loved the church more. And then some other woman tried that too. She's like, can you come get me? He said, sure. And then like 5 minutes later, he called back. He was like, nah, I gotta be a priesthood holder. Sorry about that, baby. The church is more important. I gotta go to heaven. Because when the Olympics come, the earth is gonna be destroyed. I'm like, the Olympics, that's what he had y'all thinking?
And 1 second. I
was like, that's crazy. I was like, these are basic shit. Anyone who reads the Bible knows. Lord said, no one knows the day or time. Only the Lord. Only the Lord.
It was supposed to be, what was that day? I remember I had it on my calendar. I was ready. It was the rapture day. Remember that?
It was posters, well, at least around here. Someone put up billboards. Like, it was like legit like billboards, like more than 10 years ago. And it was like, it was supposed to be on this day. I mean, people thought 2000, when 2000 came, that was going to be the thing. But I'm like, a lot of these fundamental churches, they all almost have the same. They're all like doomsday churches. They're all like the end is coming. We have to get ourselves ready. We have to be the special ones. And then you got to think about Noah, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you believe the Bible as written, right? Noah looked crazy as fuck, right? I mean, he's building the ark. No one believed that shit. His neighbors probably making fun of him, and he's like, he just taking to it of everything.
Everybody else got on that boat. They be like, this nigga crazy.
Right? Until the water came and he was like, what was that, Lord? They all got to die because they didn't listen. Okay, well, I guess that's what they got to do. So people like, ain't going to be me. I remember. So like, there's foundation for all this stuff. Even the temple, I think, was based on Revelation's perspective of how heaven was supposed to be, like how many measurements and everything. So even there's some concrete evidence for all of it. It's just the implementation of it and how people go to believe it.
There's books about serial killers too. Should I become a serial killer now? Should I follow that book too? Like,
I'm just saying, if you, there's a lot of Christians. I'm like, take a step back. Christians can be like, I understand where this stuff is coming from. I just don't agree with your execution of it. It was crazy. It was crazy. I'm not just.
Book is up for interpretation, and people interpret. The way you look at the Bible, I may not look at the Bible. The way Stacey looks, I don't look at it that way. What they do, but they brainwash these people into looking at the Bible the way they see the Bible. So it's just,
But how do you recover? Like, I was thinking about the woman who's like, now she rides motorcycles and smokes cigarettes and drinks beer and has 150 tattoos. Yeah, she got all those tattoos. I'm like, there is no way. I would imagine that none of those people ever go to church any way, shape, or form. Like they are done with any form of religion. And I understand
Well,
that.
the parents seem to be still religious, but they're not in that faith anymore. But they're still religious because they were praying together.
See, I take it as they're still members, right? Like they don't believe in Warren necessarily, but they're still like fundamental.
No, yeah, I don't think that they're. No, I don't think they're members of that sect. I think that there's a lot of different. There's fundamental and then there's the regular Mormons, right? So I don't believe that they're with the fundamental anymore. But I do believe that they may still be Mormons, but they're not in that cult anymore.
I mean, your cult is my devoted followers. I mean,
whatever.
There's this guy who just walked around with 13 people.
Well, just based on the fact that the way that he's dressed, the way that she's dressed, they're not in that anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Different. Yeah. I believe they're still Mormons though, but I don't think that they're in that same group. I'll say group. I won't say cult.
I just the wife wasn't staying sweet no more. Where's the other wives? Is my question. I mean,
that one died. Remember the one that lived downstairs? She died, and then the other one was given away. No, actually, wasn't it the wife that he's with now was given away, or was it the other wife?
Let's not act like I didn't.
Okay, well, I think maybe she's the one that got given away. They gave it was actually the woman that's sitting there because she's Elisa's mom. So that's the woman that was sitting next to him. She was given away to another husband, but I think she must have came back.
Well, I'm saying if he got kicked out of the church and he still believes in the polygamous lifestyle and his wife is on board, I'm saying
I don't think he does. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that guy is not. That family's not in that same fundamental anymore. I think they're still Mormons. All Mormons do not believe in polygamy.
I understand. I'm saying he certainly did not believe in Jeff's like Warren Jeff's perspective. I get that, but he had no problem with polygamous marriages. Like that he had that way before Warren showed up. Like I mean, so I'm saying it's just interesting that he wasn't like I need to get my 3 wives back.
No, because I don't think that he follows that anymore. Because they would have said it, they would have touched on it. I don't think he believes that anymore. I believe that he's just a regular Mormon who's religious. Yeah.
All right, because I remember them talk. I remember talking about it, and I was like, "What didn't you not like about it?" He's like, they broke up my family. So like he did not see it as he thought Warren just went too far, especially with kicking him out. But like, and I'm assuming he was not okay with the underage part. But in general, I mean, most of those men seem to be okay with the idea of having multiple wives. Maybe the wife just died, and he's too old to go get another one. I mean, maybe. Except for the lead dude again that was keep on getting them until he just died.
But if they were still in that same thing, she would have had that same outfit on. Her hair would have been done. They're not in that cult anymore.
Not in the cult, but I'm saying, but again, before the clothes started, they still had multiple wives. I'm just saying these are not the same things. I'm saying like Warren instituted the clothing and the hair. I mean, I give you that. But even before, when old man was in charge, they wore what they want. In fact, she said that. She was like, it was fun before. We could wear what we want. We could do dances or whatever. We could read books and shit. But it was still, a man had 3 or 4 wives. I mean, that's just the way it was. So, I mean, it just to them. But I don't know. So does it work? And then I see a lot of stuff on Facebook of like, polyamorous relationships. And there you go. Thruples, there you go, Stacey. There you go. Like, how do you feel in general? I mean, how do you feel about the idea? Do you think it's a functioning process?
I mean, I think adults can do what adults want to do. Really.
I agree.
You can choose what you want to do. My issue is there's always going to be someone left out. And typically, if it is a man, there will be murder involved. If one dude get all the women, because they be on YouTube, all the women want this particular man, and what about the average guys? Then who you gonna marry? If Jeff Bezos just took all the white women, what the other white men gonna do? They gonna blow up Amazon warehouse.
I see your points. Possibly. I'm saying, but
balance. Just have a little bit of balance. That's all. You don't gotta have 64 wives just because you can. Just pick 2, pick 3 on a good day. That's it. Don't be greedy. Leave some for the others.
And I mean, but it can't. You feel that could be a functioning family that
In today's culture, no. But there are other cultures who have successfully done it. Americans are too self-centered and we're too violent for it to happen. Other cultures, it works just fine.
All right.
So a couple generations will probably have to die off, and then you can probably start that process. But now, no. Mm-mm. The men would just murder each other over women. They do it all the time, and they're not even their wives.
Legally.
I mean, I see your point. I don't know. Maybe because we're like, I just think a woman would be much less interested in the idea of sharing anything, because
it depends on the man. It depends on the women.
Right.
Like Jeff Bezos could have 10 women, and none of them would say nothing.
I mean, Bill Gates got 2 women, and his wife was cool with
Nick Cannon has a whole harem.
Yeah.
Wayne had a whole harem.
Yep.
Little Wayne. Ew. Like.
D-Ray is in a polyamorous relationship, and he's been in one for years.
Who's D-Ray?
Who's D-Ray?
D-Ray from Snowfall. Snowfalls.
The crackhead?
Peaches.
Oh, really?
Peaches. Yeah.
I did not know.
And he's been like that for years.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
See, the more you know.
Yeah, and he said he can do it. Like he has the women, but if they turn around and want to have men, he said there's a problem.
Now, see, that's the other thing. So I
say something about her wedding, her marriage is like an open marriage or something.
Who?
Monique. Yeah, Monique's married, but now they're trying to close that gap because now she's talking all this nonsense that doesn't even make any sense. She's trying to act like right now they're not in an open marriage, but whatever.
You opened that door?
But no, there was a woman she wanted to sleep with, but she didn't particularly want him to sleep with. And so then all of a sudden, the whole open relationship thing has now ceased because Monique is the one who wanted an open relationship, supposedly not the husband. So right now, they're not open.
Stacey finds this suspect.
Everything is suspect when it comes to Hollywood people.
Your wife comes home and says, you know what? Bring some extra women over here. And he's like, nah. Absolutely not.
I'm a one-woman man.
How dare you, woman?
I dare you.
Well, also, too, if the man doesn't particularly like that woman, we don't know. It could be maybe those two people don't like each other.
It's personal. It could be like
it could be personal,
like,
right?
I don't like her, or he just closed his eyes and be like, let's just work through this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Just like shh.
Put a bag over her head. Turn around.
That's right. That's what.
Shove her head in the pillow.
That's what doggy pillows for. Just be like shh. But as long as they are legal and of consenting age is what is important, and they are in a mind to say I am okay with this, and they can work that out, and that's what I. So if this was stuff, if Under the Banner of Heaven and this thing would have came out back in the day, I probably would have watched Big Love on HBO, but I was like, I didn't give a fuck. But I feel like this would have motivated me to watch that show.
I watched Big Love.
Was it good?
It actually was good. It was really well done.
I was like.
But you see the problems. There was a lot of problems with that whole setup. Yeah,
because he had 3 wives.
Mm-hmm. And it was difficult. It was very difficult.
I was just like, that's kind of cool, but I'm like, Like it just seems like a lot of
drama. A married man, I asked, they said, you want another wife? And he's like, nah, she's enough of a headache for me.
Because women are emotional, we're jealous. There's so much that goes into us. And it's hard on a man because, I'm actually defending men. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard being with a woman, and sometimes hard being with a man too. But I think if you have multiple women, it's even harder because they all have all these emotions and jealousy, and they whine. I want to be with you tonight, but you're going to go with Rebecca. And
men are the same way.
It can be. Yeah. So they're annoying too.
I don't know. So it was a very, very bad situation just all around for these people. The men turn into slave labor. The women are commodities, as the reporter pointed out. You know what I'm saying? Like that became.
Wait, can we have a hair corner just for 1 second? What the hell happened to that guy's hair? Like when he was a reporter.
Oh, the reporter?
He had like nice black, nicely cut hair. He turned into like the crypt keeper. Like his hair is like all these different colors, but mostly red.
I don't even know.
It was.
I don't know. It was a lot of things going on there. I mean,
It was a ton of hair. I was like,
it looked like a mullet. I was like, there's a lot of things here. I was like, I want a documentary just on the hair. Like, just let me know how you got
and he was like bone skinny, and it was like I feel. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but I feel like there's something going on with his psyche because he just looked disheveled. Like,
well, I mean, it's a hard life being an investigative reporter. I mean, chasing down all kinds of these crazy ass stories. And but he was committed. I mean, it's interesting. He was like, law enforcement's not doing anything. Law enforcement's not doing anything.
Yeah, what he did was I'm glad that he brought it to the forefront. Honestly, I'm not laughing at him as a person. I was just laughing at his appearance. Because what he did, not a person. But what he did was phenomenal. Like he really did bring it to the forefront. Yeah. And he was very upset about this whole situation. And he did his job very well. Like he got it out there. Yeah.
And the other reporter in Texas, like he was just high. We had a murder and we had some oil drilling last year, and we thought that was going to be the most exciting thing. And then the polygamist came. I was like, this is going to be a funny story. I can't wait for this dude to be like, hey guys, did y'all hear about the polygamist down the street? I reckon they don't like to hang out with us.
Why do you sound like the guy from The Simpsons?
Well,
wait, the black guy from The Simpsons.
Oh, that would do. I was like, that one. I was like, I don't know. I love that dude, man. I was like, this dude was just so laid back. I mean, he was just so laid. It's like, hey, I guess we have to look in. It was hilarious. They're like, they didn't want to talk to nobody. They would come to the shop and they would talk. They would just, and we all saw the men. They wouldn't make eye contact. That's because y'all were Gentiles. They had their own potatoes and all kinds of shit. I was like, they were so self-sufficient. Like, what happens when you don't know what regular people look like, and like you think like you don't know anything about outside world? Like, who's the president? Like, I don't know the president. Like Jeff is like Warren is the president, right? Like, he's God. You can't put a man above God. Like, that is that kind of indoctrination, like you said, from birth. Like, you can't get how do you get away from that? Like, that's
I mean, the courage that it took for that girl to just one day and just decide, I'm not taking anything with me. I am just leaving, and to start their lives all over again. Like she said, I scaled the wall in my dress. I would have been right behind her. I'm with you. I'm going. Right. I'm out.
Until your boyfriend brings your happy ass back.
Yeah, that was sad. That was so sad.
I would whoop that dude's ass later on. Like, after I got out, like I definitely would find that dude. He's like, I'm so sorry. I just knew that I was wrong, but I had to do it. Also, what's up with littering on the highway? Like, I didn't understand that. When she was like, my brother packed up the truck with all my stuff, and we were driving out of town, and then the truck opened, and all my stuff was all over the road, and I ran over it, and I had to start my life over again. So I'm like, he did that shit on purpose?
I really think that for her, that was just a sign that she has to let that life go. But I agree with you, like me, because I'm always nervous about stuff like that. You should have picked up your stuff and moved it off the road.
Yeah, that's littering. I mean, you could have caused an accident.
We don't know that she didn't do that, Dave. They just didn't show it. But I think she was trying to show the metaphor of the fact that all of that stuff fell out for a reason. Like, you need to let this stuff go. So they probably didn't show the cleanup because that wouldn't be interesting, right?
I just felt like she was littering, and therefore she should have got a ticket. Because I'm like, so somebody could hit that shit and had an accident. But I was like, I did like them, like, so like the reenactments of like them laying in the river, and like you saw the set. Like, they did a really good job of like trying to react some of the scenes. I'm glad I didn't see anybody masturbate. Like, that was too much. Like, I every time I think about Our Father, I was like, this scene is unnecessary. This scene is very unnecessary right now. Let's move on. The lady who was like, he has to have records. He has to have records. And then they found the holy sex slave room, which was crazy. And then like he had records like of all the wives.
But that's the crazy thing, right? When these people do these things, like most criminals, they always have a paper trail for some damn reason. Either it's a paper trail or it's electronic. Yeah. Like they are so dumb. Like you murder someone and you text the person that you're in love with. Oh, they're gone. They won't bother you anymore. So you mean to tell me that you think that an electronic thing is going to disappear once it goes off of your phone? You just hit delete and it's gone, right? Really?
Well, again, I know it's a far example comparison. I will still make the example I submit. Mr. Kelly also kept his video and was like, I mean, I was like, so he was, I mean, it was the ego, like the egos, huh?
That was his brother.
Oh yeah, when he was peeing on the remember he said that was his brother. That wasn't him.
I was like, they're like, hey Robert. He was like, what? No point. But I'm like, it's the ego, right? They never thought they were gonna get caught. They never thought they were gonna get caught, right? And they have the audio and stuff, and then like it's just like when you control that much stuff, and they're both ways, right? And it's like why not? Or so he can relive the moment. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, I was repulsed when they actually did the audio of him having sex with a 12-year-old. Yeah. I almost threw up in my mouth. I was like, the moaning is what got me, because all I'm thinking of is when I was 12, to have a man on top of me, the trauma, right, that you would go through if that was happening to you. And all I heard was his moaning sounds. Who would record that? Like, oh, he's a disgusting, despicable person. Like,
and the wives that are apparently there watching.
Yes, they're just standing there letting this little girl be raped. Like,
it was terrible. I don't know why they let him have access to outside people. Like, I mean, if you're running a criminal enterprise, which I can't believe how you identify that's what this church is, that he's allowed to even share messages or have access to anyone. And again, they matter of factly, he's still running his church. That's how it is. He still got members. I'm like, y'all ain't worried about this. What if he sends out the message of attack the prison? Come get me or something. Like he has an army at his disposal. Speaking of the mass shooters,
they're peaceful people, though. I don't think they would ever run up on the.
The Lord said, "Thou must slayeth everybody."
That's revelation.
All he gotta do.
That's
he
revelation.
Could do it. He could. You're right. Both of you are right. He could actually put the bug in their ear and just be like, you know what? I need to break out of here right now. I'm about to be 79. I need to live like my last days out of here. So I need you all to come in here with rifles and kill everybody and get me out of here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 300 kids by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, with enough firearms, I'm saying they could hold it down pretty well. I mean, they would probably make pretty far. So again, I'm very impressed that it never got that far. Because especially at the courthouse, he easily could have been like, okay, this trial ain't going well, so I need to bust up out of here. But it was a good special. It was compelling. I'm glad only 4 episodes was good. I mean, I think it would have been hard to kind of shove all that into one like hour and a half movie like they did with Our Father. But it was a interesting going down the rabbit hole with some of these people. And then again, that kind of reality show thing when the lady was like, okay, I need to take a break. I'm about to cry. They're like,
while she was smoking, I was like, did you hear her say that she needs a minute?
Right. And they're like,
Yeah, I'll take your minute, but it's gonna be on camera.
Just go ahead, baby. You don't have to talk. Just let us look. Come on, we gotta get to some emotion. I was like, that's fucked up, man. This is fucked up right here. I didn't get the smoothie thing. When the bounty hunter or whatever was like, now that he's arrested, I'm gonna go up to this I don't know, a Cold Stone and get me a smoothie. He was like, yep. I'm still trying to keep this town together. I'm like, I'm not even sure how that's even related, but all right. He was like, life goes on.
And instead of having alcohol, he has a smoothie to celebrate.
I guess. And then that one his Warren's brother who's like there feeding the rabbits or whatever the fuck, and he's like, he kicked me out. So basically it's like it's almost like this whole documentary is being narrated by disgruntled employees, right? Like, so of course they ain't gonna be happy with this dude. Like, he kicked me out, he stole my wife, you know what I'm saying? He married me off to a cousin. So like, where's the other side? Like in there's
there's another documentary about him on Amazon Prime that I watched I think it was 2019. Yeah, he has another one about him, and it's all sides actually. And it talks about when the police came and everything like that. There's a couple of documentaries about this thing that happened. So it's all the sides have been covered. Let's just say that on different documentaries. So,
I'm assuming they're gonna do a David Koresh one. But they haven't done it by one by now. I mean, I think he was
a documentary. There's been a David Koresh documentary. There's been several of them.
Well, I mean, like for the Netflix do one like this.
I don't remember Netflix doing Waco, but I know there's been some on Amazon Prime about.
Well, no, I'm sure. I'm saying, but like with Netflix, they seem to be on this like true crime thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
they're trying to expand that. They are.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. You know, so maybe do that.
Subscriptions.
Yeah.
They had to keep that money coming in.
Oh yeah, they getting ass whooped by Disney Plus for some reason, which only got like one good show. I mean, but I was like, we know it's also they got shared passwords and stuff. It's all kind of things. Poor Netflix, but they knocked it out, man. Oh yeah, this is weird. So are we gonna do Martin? Did y'all watch the Martin thing?
I haven't watched it yet. When are we supposed to do it?
No, I'm saying we can do it if you want to do it. Like I started watching it today.
Oh, okay. I have to watch it.
It's pretty good. They did a thing for Tommy. Anyway, we record that. Yeah, it was sweet. It was kind of sweet. So they're trying to do a little memorial to Tommy. So I thought that was kind of cool. Someone asked us to look it over. All right. So we got.
So when do you want to do it? Because I can watch it. I can watch it today.
I don't know. What's Stacey? Are you gonna do it?
Absolutely not.
She said no.
Absolutely not. That's different. That's more than no.
Yes. You hate Martin?
I love that show. I mean,
that show was so good. That was one of those shows. It was like it was like that hour, living single, and then Martin. I used to get my kids all, give them a bath and go away, and then so I could, be in front of the TV to watch.
I was like, they do cover the anyway. So Kim, check it out, and then we can come up with a time. If it's are you off Monday for Juneteenth?
I'm off on Monday
because your birthday. Right?
I'm off on Monday.
All right, so let's see if we can do that for Monday because I got a lot of things we got to do. So we do a la carte after this. You and me. We gotta say bye that bullshit, man. It was.
And that wasn't that the last episode?
It's the last episode. It was gonna be the last episode. Anyway, the world that shit.
The way it ended was definitely like terrible.
I was like, well. No, so we have a whole other video to say how shit this was, and it was. So okay, we got P Valley on Sunday, right? As a team.
What are we doing, Jason?
Oh shit, tomorrow. That's right. Tomorrow. That's right. Are you available tomorrow?
What time tomorrow?
Whenever. Not whenever. What time are you available?
Let's try 1 o'clock. I think I have a 2 o'clock. And they tend to talk a lot, so I don't know what time they'll be done. So we might want to do it before.
You still working on that tea? Is it tea or coffee?
Huh? Oh, the coffee slash. It's going a lot of directions right now.
All right. 1 o'clock we'll do Jason. It's only 1 episode. I'm sure it won't be that much to talk about. So we'll do For the Love of Jason tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then on 1 o'clock on Sunday, we will do P Valley episode 3. I'm going to do The Boys and Obi-Wan. Before that, I'm doing Lincoln Lawyer tomorrow morning. I was like, what? It's a lot of things going on with that. So I feel there's something. Oh, there's a Netflix movie. Thor's in it. He's like running some type of drug testing thing. Like he has like people in a. I'll send it to you. I sent it to you. It's better than First Kill. Since we're together. Damn, Kim.
Did you think that was something good?
No, I did. I had a little hope. Like I was like, that First Kill was that bullshit.
Oh, I told you. That's why I was like, I watched the first episode, and I was like, this is like watching Twilight. And I was like, I don't think that you really get what this is about. Like it's not like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like Buffy had action, and then there was the whole love affair with Angel and stuff, like on the side. This is all about this girl being in love with this black girl, this white girl being in love with this black girl. So
the theme song. I told you, Stacey, did you hear that? Did you watch the first episode? But just watch the intro. That's all I'm asking. Just listen to the theme song.
Yeah,
it is weird. It is the most weird shit I've ever heard, dude. I'm like, what is happening? Like, how is this even popular with any generation? Like, it is stupid as fuck. And then that first scene, like, it was too much. I was like, I couldn't look past sister coming home in the morning. I couldn't, like, when she was like, hello, she had the glasses on some bullshit. It's like, where you been? Well, I'm home now, Dad. I was like, whoop. I tried. I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah. And it was like the two young ladies just do not. I would never see them together. Like they are total opposites. I was like, what is this? It just wasn't interesting. I mean, it's a teeny bopper or a college age kind of show. Like,
so like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I like the new modern one. Like that shit was scary as fuck. Like
that was good. That was good, but it wasn't done like this thing.
That's what I'm saying. I was hoping it was gonna be like that, right? Until the later seasons, and even that show got off the rails. Like they killed demons with labor pains. I was like, this is the last thing I'm watching. I was like, I no. I was like, what? Oh, they harnessed the labor pains and threw it at the demon kings, and they were like, because we're men and we can't take labor. And I was like, stop it. Like, I don't care.
I still watched it to the end.
You did?
Yes, I had to. I was faithful. I watched it.
I was like, nah, well, Sabrina, I know you'll work it out, girl. You'll be all right. But I don't know. I was like, I didn't even watch the last season of Lucifer. I was like, fuck this. I was like, no.
I haven't finished watching. I'm on season 3 now. I haven't even gotten to the last season yet.
Yeah, I made it that far. I didn't make it out of season 1.
Oh.
I thought it was gonna get better when it got on Netflix, and it was just like, nah, bro. I was like, this is.
It's just a procedural, and Lucifer is just a whiny man. Yeah. I mean, it's not. I like it because I like procedurals. Other than that,
show back in the day that I used to like. He was like a doctor, but he got like when he couldn't practice anymore, so he would like doctor for like undercover, like people would pay him like under the table to do like stuff that they didn't want to like report to the hospital. Yeah, it was actually good. I can't.
Oh, with the white guy, with the guy from Power, the white guy from Power.
Greg?
No. The one that he works for the DNC or something like that. He's with Tate. You talking about?
No, not that doctor.
Oh, I know you're talking. I know. So you're
the
talking
guy that
about.
plays Lucifer. He was a doctor, and he got like disbarred, or not disbarred, but whatever the doctors. And they were like hiring him, like if a ball player beat their wife, they would hire him to come like patch her up, like under the table. And he had like this sidekick nurse lady that kind of liked him. It was kind of like Iron Man and his little assistant.
The Pepper Potts.
Yeah, Pepper Potts. They had that kind of relationship.
That's
how many seasons was it?
I don't know. I think this was back in the Nip Tuck days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
only like 1 or 2 seasons.
I would say that's back
in
the day.
Interesting. Yeah.
Before Nip Tuck went off the rails. When they moved to California, I was like, nope.
Whenever they change locations, it's like, nah.
Yeah, if they move the show, it always messes up the show.
Ray Donovan, bad. When they moved to New York. Beer Mary Jane shit. When he moved to New York, I was like, fuck. And then the killer came.
I look for.
I was like, yeah. Fuck, man. I was like, Michael Ealy, I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, well, you done. I was like Power Book 4, also an example. I was like, stay where it works, bro. Like, once you go, you know what the problem is. Location. I was like, oh, yeah, canceled. Thank you. Just say we're canceled. Dexter also can go in the pot. You know what I'm saying? They left Miami and they went to straight shit. I was like, when Double Cross moves to New York City, we're gonna be like, nah.
Double Cross went off the rails and they still in LA. So
I was like, it was never on the rails. I was like, I submit. I was like, it hasn't found the rails yet, so it's consistent. I like that. Anyway, all right. So I will see your lovely self tomorrow. For the love of Jason. I haven't watched the episode yet, but I'm sure we're not missing much. But we will. I'll check it out in the morning. You seen it already? Oh man.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet.
I was like, Stacey's like, I was like, so it's okay. It's better than a la carte. I already know that. I'm like, fuck me.
Sound
okay, a la carte lace.
Oh,
a la carte.
A la carte. A la carte. A la carte.
Yes.
It has besides the sound, and I know this sounds weird. Besides the sound, production quality is pretty top notch for an all black show.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very top notch. That sound, iPhones are better. Like I have whoever is in charge should be fired like immediately. Like they should be like, you should never be able to work in Hollywood again because it makes no sense how shitty this show sounds.
Because it was like, I know they use headphones or something. You can't hear that. I can't hear this. Like, and then I know there was a premiere that the studio had to watch. You mean to tell me that none of the executives were like, what did she just say?
What's this?
Like,
what?
Say that again?
What?
Like, anybody got closed captions? Let's just turn this.
Like, turn the music down, damn it. Like, turn the soundtrack down, all right? So I can listen to these fuckers talk. What did she say? This don't make any sense. Turn the soundtrack back up. Fuck. Nobody wants to hear this dialogue. Turn the soundtrack back up until we get to the fucking. And I was like, okay.
Isn't it supposed to be the director and then the executive producers and then the studio people who watch it first? And the editors? Like, nobody caught it?
No one caught this shit. Stacey, I'm telling you, you gotta see how bad this thing is. Like, it's laughable. It really is laughable until you start crying because you're like, this cannot be. Like, how can these people still have jobs? And I
was shocked I heard Candy's voice because Candy has that deep voice. Yes. I understood everything Candy said this time.
So, anyway, okay, we're gonna get that review. Anyway, Stacey, thank you very much. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. Kim, I'll see you in a minute so we can finish shitting on this show. Okay.
Okay. Bye, Stacey.